problem with freedom. The Kamala Harris campaign is using the word freedom and holding on to freedom and throwing around terms like you're going to lose your freedom, lose democracy, all of these things. It was interesting. This is, again, being away and watching some of the publications and some of the things that were transpiring. She made a decent amount of news in the Mediterranean, what was taking place in the UK, where you've got the police in the UK threatening to arrest people for social media posts, actually going as far as saying that they're going to go all the way over to America to arrest people for what they're putting on Facebook in regards to what's taking place in the UK. You actually had Italy's Deputy Prime Minister, Matteo Salvini, speaking out on what in the world are you guys doing over there? I mean, this is insane. I mean, what's next? You're going to start, it's going to be illegal to start opposing illegal immigration or the traditional family values? He makes a good point. Freedom. I looked up several definitions, different dictionaries. I'll go with the Oxford edition. The condition or right of being able or allowed to do, say, think whatever you want to without being controlled or limited. And again, I kind of find that interesting. We always talk about freedom here in the United States and how great it is. And I always talk about myself. I said, I want my kids to be able to go out and be free to go out there and to build lives for themselves so they can succeed beyond their wildest dreams, whatever they decide to go out and do. But again, there's a flip side to that as well, is with all of that freedom, guess what? There's certain responsibilities, quite frankly, that you have to deal with. And sometimes being an individual that can get your own freedoms in check. Yeah, you're free and go out and drink as many beers as you want, but that might not be a good idea. Yeah, you're free to sit on the couch and not work out or exercise, but what is that going to do for your health? A little self-restraint in the face of free will and all of this freedom that we have is important. Let's talk about freedom in another sense in regards to the politics, going back to Kamala Harris right now and to what, again, it's the belief system. I could say it's the left too, but, in many aspects of the right, they also want to control certain aspects of people's lives. They want to hold people down. Both sides. You talk about it, whether in regards to ridiculous regulations, whatever it may be. They know better than you. I was sent this by one of my listeners. Pathetic, empty, and unproductive people don't care about losing their freedom because they weren't doing anything meaningful with it in the first place. Many of these same people rejoice at the loss of freedom for others because it makes them feel better about their miserable existence. I've written about this as well. I'm trying to come up, and I was looking at, today is doing a little homework, trying to find a word that would describe that. And some people say schadenfreude. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. The people that actually rejoice when people, lose their freedom or their ability to do something. Kind of want to knock people down because they're unwilling to do it. I remember I wrote a column about this years ago. This is in the lead up to the Obama presidency. It was When the Boss Shrugs was the title of the article. And you get people that do that. You look down on others. There's the dog in the manger metaphor, talking about how the dog is sitting in the, with the amongst the food in the manger, and he's not going to eat it, but he doesn't let any of the cows in the barn or the horses in the barn eat it as well. And there was one in so actually the Gospel of Matthew as well. that Jesus, woe to you, teachers. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You shut the kingdom of heaven in men's faces. You do not enter yourselves, nor will you let others enter. And is there a large part of that in our society? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Freedom. And you're going to have both candidates banter it back and forth and talk about it in ways. But when you have people that are out there that are quick to point to the productive elements of our society, again, I've been speaking for some time, about people that need to go out there to build, create, protect, and teach others that productive part of society, the people that are building businesses, the people that are going out there and building and creating, and you're looking to hamstring them and put more red tape in front of them, make it more difficult for them. Yes, it is much of this built upon this, this dog in the manger metaphor, if you will, wanting to keep people down. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, this how they win, how people win is, again, that, if you want the government to provide for you everything, I know it's the old Thomas Jefferson, a government that can give you everything, powerful enough to give you everything, is powerful enough to take it away. There is a large swath. I mean, and it's something you have to, I've grown to accept. I don't like it. I used to, again, my younger years, I used to rant and rave about it a hell of a lot more than I do now. I kind of just accept it. People that just, again, they don't want to be free. They want to be handed things. They want their Obama phone. They want to be like Peggy Joseph, and they want their car paid for, their house paid for, their electric paid for. Remember, she went off on that rant. That's not freedom. That's not freedom at all. But they're not interested in that. That's how others define the word. And this goes back to the importance of language and words having meaning. When Kamala Harris speaks of providing freedom, and we're going to provide freedom, and it's going to be more free, and the freedom, she's not talking about that. People don't hear that. What they're hearing is what the government can provide them. The old Barack Obama, remember, The Life of Julia, that internet thing he put out there where, here's a life of a young girl till she's older, and all of the ways the government's going to provide for her and give to her. That's free. That's free. No, let me tell you something. Freedom. You want it when? When do you want? Freedom's not easy. Again, this is stuff that I try to explain to my kids. Okay? Stuff I try to explain to my kids. And I love my kids dearly. I had that line from when Don Corleone gets mad at Sonny for speaking out of turn there when they're having a meeting with the Turk, Salazzo. And he's, as you can see, I spoil my kids, and again, my kids are aware, but I try to explain to them, freedom, what it involves. It's not easy. It's not easy if you want to be free. And again, people, we throw the term about, we banter about all the time here, and it's being used now. Freedom. Most people, they want no part of freedom. They don't want to worry about paying their health care bills. They don't want to worry about their retirement. They'd rather have the government do it. They don't want to have to think about these things. And again, I used to get a hell of a lot more bent out of shape out of it. And I just kind of accept it. And we've been traveling down this road, the socialist road, for some time. I don't know how I don't know how we're going to get off this highway and turn the car around and go in an opposite direction. I really don't. Again, I think that I don't think the country. I don't think the country wants. I do not think that's what the country wants. And again, I watched this in many ways. I watched this also happen during COVID. There's just some things that really bite. You go back to my podcasts and radio shows during COVID and how disturbed I was. It was like a mad dash. Everyone, conservatives, liberal, mad dash. Mad dash for free money. Mad dash for free money. And I want my stimulus check, and I want my handout, and I want this, and I want that. Remember the Ocean's 11 film? I'm not talking about with Sinatra, the one with Clooney and Brad Pitt, when they shut the lights off at the casino, shut the power off at the casinos, and everybody just all of a sudden goes nuts and is grabbing chips and money and all sorts of stuff. And this was in a high-end casino. You start, again, promising all of these things. People really don't have any understanding of what freedom is and just how difficult it is and how much work that's involved. They don't care. And again, I think quite frankly, I think most Americans, and I'm sorry, I'd say more than 50% of this country vote can be bought with some handout, with some giveaway, whatever it may be. Give me this. I want this provided. When, you think what you think, and I'm okay. This may have taken people back. I mean, I'm gonna change that around for you. Let me explain it this way. Do you think that more than 50% of the population would say, you know what, all I want from my government is for them to get out of my way? I don't need anything. I don't need any tax breaks. I don't need any special deals. I want a fair tax code. I want fair regulations. All I want is for the government to get out of my way so I can get up early in the morning, work my butt off, and provide for my family. You think more than 50% of the population would vote for that? If that was the case, I don't know why somebody might want to run on that at some point in time. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.